universe is like taking a trip down memory lane. The farther from Earth we look, the farther back in time we see. The farther back in time we see.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year indeed, dude.
Welcome to the first day of the first episode in 2015 of the most must-see show to ever hit the Bedford TV airwaves, The Wrestling Connection. I'm your host, your connection to the wrestling world, Ken Hill, alongside me, as always, the Mad Wolf himself, slicked hair and all, Mr. Zachary Martinkus.
What is up, everybody? I hope you all had a good weekend, or having a good weekend, and most importantly, are having an absolute amazing in 2015. And if any of y'all have kept in contact, have been following me on Facebook, though, I have said last year was the year of change. This year is the year of impact. So this year, we guarantee, though, the Wrestling Connection will make the impact on all of you. Or whatever.
Great job there, Hulk Hogan.
What you gonna do, brother, when the Wrestling Connection runs round on you?
Oh, great. Now we got gimmick infringer in our hands.
Oh, whatever, man.
We're going to get so many letters.
Well,
okay, emails, because seriously, who writes letters anymore?
yeah, true.
Okay. All right. So it's a new year. We're going to be trying new formats throughout the next few months because we want to shake things. We want to shake things up. We do want to make a big impact. So I mean, we want to make a big impact, a celestial impact. Yeah. Yeah. We didn't see enough of those star graphics with Greg's lovely recordings.
Yep.
Okay, but anyway, instead of our traditional week in review, since it's been the last couple of weeks, since everyone's had some time off for the holidays, for Christmas, for New Year's, for Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate, we're cool with it. We are just going to bring you the biggest bits of news from the wrestling world. Now, last month in December, normally WWE likes to wrap things up with the tables, ladders, and chairs pay-per-view. However, WWE's developmental program, NXT, which has slowly but surely, it's steadily been gaining a lot of ground, a big following, by not only WWE fans, but international fans. Though those who don't traditionally follow WWE are instead watching NXT. And NXT has produced a number of greats, a number of mainstays in WWE, such as The Shield.
Here we go.
Such as The Shield.
Multitasking, sorry.
No problem.
Never mind. That was. No, that's Reigns. I don't want to hate you, brother.
Brian skipped, so I'm doing two jobs.
All right. Such as the Shield.
Yep.
The Wyatt family.
The Wyatt family.
Of course.
Oh.
Big E Langston.
Oh, yeah.
A former NXT champion. Seth Rollins of The Shield was also an NXT champion, the longest reigning NXT champion in...
Actually, no, you're wrong on that. That was Bo Dallas.
Oh, really? Of course. Oh, glad you corrected me on that.
400... Yeah, I believe it was 462 days, I believe.
Very good, Mr. Martinkus.
I did my homework. Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course, Mr.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Bo Dallas, believe in this.
Now, even if some haven't made a totally successful transition from NXT to WWE, such as one Mr. Bo Dallas, they have nonetheless made an impressive impact in NXT and impressed the fans there at Full Sail University well enough to make the transition up to the main stage.
Oh, yeah. I mean, heck, you don't forget, though, too, you even had the likes of Paige, too.
Of course, you had Paige, one of the longest reigning NXT Divas champions.
Not to mention the very first one, too.
Of course. And what did she do on her first night in WWE?
She won the Divas Championship the day after WrestleMania.
Of course. Yep. You see Paige here, one of her varied, devastating submission holds.
And all I can say to her is, ooh la la.
Oh, of course.
Yay!
Okay.
She's my age.
Yeah.
Well, she is. She's literally 22. And
Okay.
shockingly enough, I'm actually older than her, so go figure.
Yeah, don't let that stop you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But of course, they have paved the way for some new NXT talents, which have blown off the doors, seemingly blown them out of the water. I mean, we're talking about like the likes of Adrian Neville, formerly known as Pac, from great indie promotions, such as Ring of Honor.
Yep, Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
Oh, Sami Zayn.
Formerly known as El Generico from Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Yep.
Kevin Owens. I mean, known as the infamous Mr. Wrestling Kevin Steen.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, again, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Hideo Itami, the former Prince Devitt, Finn Balor.
Charlotte.
I mean, if we could just get the picture of Finn Balor from his. Well, actually, no. There is Charlotte performing one of her signature moves, natural selection. Charlotte, the daughter of two-time Hall of Famer and WWE legend, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Not to mention 16-time World Heavyweight Champ.
And Charlotte also proven to be one of the most dominant divas in the game today.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, her non-stop rivalries, specifically with Natty. I mean,
with Natalya Neidhart, with another NXT upstart in Bayley, the Boss, Sasha Banks.
Yep.
Summer Rae, who was also an NXT upstart, who's now in WWE.
Oh, no one cares about her.
Oh, well, maybe, but she did get her start down in NXT, like many of the divas.
Yeah.
And Charlotte's going to end up there sooner or later.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, though, I'm just thankful, Summer Rae didn't go on the same roads as One Pacific won, the former assistant of JBL.
Jillian Hall.
No, yeah.
Jillian Hall.
Yeah. She only won the I'm just saying, though, I'm just... Because if you think... All right.
How do we get from talking about NXT to Jillian Hall?
I don't know. I'm just saying, though, it's just... moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay. Who's this?
That's one Matt Taven.
That's Matt Taven, who's not in NXT.
I heard you say the words Ring of Honor.
Well, I know. We're talking about folks who've been who have been signed from Ring of Honor to be in NXT.
Exactly.
Such as El Generico, now known as Sami Zayn. You had Kevin Steen, now known as Kevin Owens, who's in NXT, and we also have the former Prince Devitt, who's now in NXT, known as Finn Balor. We have Adrian Neville right here performing his signature red arrow corkscrew splash.
Yeah, heck, they actually call him what was the nickname they call him? Mr. Orbit himself.
The man that gravity forgot.
Exactly. I mean, this guy can basically do a 450 splash facing pretty much facing the opposite direction and be able to land.
Without wasting your breath.
Exactly.
You take one look at this guy. You think, oh, he can't pull all this stuff. He can fly better than anyone I've ever seen.
Exactly. I mean, this redefine.
He puts cruiserweights to shame.
Oh yeah. I mean, no, heck though. If we brought some of these guys around though, hey, this would be a perfect opportunity to bring back the cruiserweight
up until last
title.
month, Adrian Neville was one of the longest reigning NXT champions. Held it for the better part of 2014, up until December, and had some fantastic feuds with the likes of Bo Dallas, and Sami Zayn. He and Sami had a series of incredible matches going up to December at NXT's special R Evolution. A show that had just amazing quality, top to bottom.
Oh yeah.
And I mean every part, from the opening of the show with Kevin Owens making his debut, squashing his opponent in record time, steamrolling them, as you can see right here, bloody nose and all.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you had a great tag team match with the Lucha Dragons in Kalisto, if anyone's been calling Kalisto the next generation's Rey Mysterio, talks like him, sounds like him, and if you watch Rey Mysterio in ECW and WCW,
Yeah.
he moves just like him.
Oh yeah. Rey Mysterio.
Maybe even better.
Oh yeah. And I'm sorry, Ray. You need to sip. I hope to God you pass the torch to this dude though, because he pretty much rocks this.
I mean,
I believe Sami Zayn though, he actually won the NXT title.
Well,
right?
yeah, I'm actually getting to that. I mean, we had a great tag team match. We had a fantastic women's title match. When was the last time you said you ever saw a fantastic women's wrestling match?
Never. I mean, you've had if you look through history, I mean, yeah, sure, you might see some epidemic ones, but they're not
the
just
likes, the likes of Fabulous Moolah, Trish and Lita.
Wendy. I was gonna say Wendy Richter, but
when Wendy Richter. I mean, many greats. I mean, Sable, Chyna, Trish, Lita.
the list goes on.
The list goes on and on.
But this match in particular takes the cake.
Well, no, not this. No, we're getting to this match.
Oh.
I'm talking about Charlotte versus Sasha Banks.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going by.
I mean, these two women put on one of the most technically and athletically amazing women's matches I have ever seen. And their rematches after that were fantastic too. And you need to catch them online, on DVD, on the network, whatever you have to do. Catch these matches with Charlotte and Sasha Banks, because they redefined women's wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that these two put on so much that the Divas would want to do. The fact that Divas, we know the Divas in WWE are capable of pulling off. They're all athletically gifted.
Yeah, but
yet we haven't seen them pull off this level of in-ring talent.
Exactly.
So it boggles my mind how WWE can seemingly handicap themselves so much, and yet in NXT there's seemingly so much freedom to do what you want in the ring, to establish so much psychology and chemistry that you can put on such an amazing match like Charlotte and Sasha did.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is though, they're all stuck in one specific area in Florida, versus the guys that. Versus the men and women that are on tour all the time, though they go worldwide.
But that's one of the problems I've been having lately. Like I talked about last December, I mean, NXT put on one of the best overall wrestling shows of 2014. And pretty much people, I mean, you had fans, you had reporters. You had the superstars. You even had some WWE's own financial investors saying that NXT put on an overall better show than WWE did with TLC. In fact, as a form of silent protest, some of the superstars who were, of course, there are no names, some of the superstars that were on the show for that night, in TLC for that night, pretty much just wrote in the match that they just mailed in the match as a form of silent protest in favor of Triple H, who runs NXT. Mm-hmm. Because they knew they couldn't match the level of performance that the NXT superstars.
No, you can't.
They couldn't have. They knew it. They knew it. They just mailed it in. And I mean, aside from the Ziggler Harper ladder match, aside from the tables, ladders, and chairs match with Wyatt and Ambrose, they had a point. Nothing came even close to what NXT put on with our Evolution.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was just guys like going at each other's rear ends from Survivor Series, or pretty much it's just going after for revenge. That was it.
I mean, the chairs match with Ryback and Kane was a snoozer. Mm-hmm. I mean, the stairs match with Rowan and Big Show didn't even have the right guy going over.
Exactly.
With Big Show winning. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Divas match was all right, I guess, but even that was just because AJ's taking time off.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably even the tables match too. I mean,
the tables match, yeah, the tables match was kind of overbooked too because again, instead of going a crazy route by having Cena lose, we go the safe route by having Cena win.
Yeah.
So, and even that didn't end up being fruitful because guess what happens? End of the year, the Authority gets brought back anyway.
Yeah.
So again, the last 2 months, what did the last month and a half do for us? Absolutely nothing.
Pretty much a major disappointment, though, and I'm sorry to say this. 2014, yes, it went by quick. It was supposed to be the year of change, and yes, it did accomplish that. I mean, for NXT and all that, but for the WWE, it didn't do a whole lot. It didn't do squat.
I mean, you even had a couple of WWE shows, where the fans were chanting NXT just because of how bad the shows on Raw have been, how repetitive they have been, how you've had the 10 to 15 minute talking segment instead of an actual wrestling match to start the shows, which is something I've talked about time and again and again. See, even I'm starting to repeat myself.
Yes.
I'm coming out here talking for 5 to 10 minutes about how there's still 15 minute talkie segments.
I know. I mean, to be honest, though, quit having I know for a fact. I know the WWE Network though has its fame and whatnot though. That's how everybody's able to get in contact with to see all that. Right. Why not put it on live TV? Honestly, like I really do think. Sure, it makes a bigger hit.
If they put it on live TV, most people would probably just forego Raw and watch NXT on Wednesdays.
Well, hey, I'm just saying though, Triple H. If you want to know what's best for business, I cannot believe I even said that.
Triple H already knows what's best for business. It's Vince that doesn't know, because Vince is the one that still approves the scripts. Vince is the one still essentially running Raw and SmackDown. Triple H is the one. He's the one making the signings. He's the one motivating this new bumper crop of talent that's in NXT with Kevin Owens, with Sami Zayn, with Hideo Itami, Finn Balor. You got so many a potential crop of international superstars under one WWE roof. And you have the potential to blow everyone's minds by cultivating these guys and bring these guys up the right way.
Yeah, I mean, heck, if they keep this up, I think probably for the first time ever, they might actually break the streak, might actually break the all-time records, surpassing WrestleMania. Now I'm just saying though, if they,
what do you mean by that?
No. I mean, I'm just saying though, if they put all the spot, if they do it exactly what they did, this just like from TLC, that same night at TLC, everybody putting all their focus on the NXT show.
I get what you mean, but I mean, having an NXT show on the same night as WrestleMania.
Hey, I'm just saying though, it would be interesting though because
you mean on the same weekend as WrestleMania, not on the same night.
No, I'm actually swinging either way.
Well, no, the same night wouldn't make sense. I mean, if you're gonna have the same night, why not just have them on WrestleMania?
Okay, or maybe that too though. Maybe do a half of what they originally do, and then put the NXT brothers.
We're talking about WrestleMania right here. Okay, that's That's one thing. But, I mean, going back to last month. I mean, again, I'm talking. I mean, there was such a groundswell of support from fans, from superstars themselves, just from sports analysts. Some investors, all clamoring, like, supporting Triple H being, like, supporting Control going over to Triple H, because regardless of how people may feel about him, regardless of how may feel about his ego, and all that, the bottom line is the NXT product, which is ultimately Triple H's baby. It was ultimately his idea. The developmental center, his idea. The center at Full Sail University, his idea. All the different signings, Owens, Balor, Zayn, all of them, his idea. Triple H is ultimately making it about wrestling. He's trying to make wrestling matter again. And I mean, here's the funny thing. After our evolution, get this: there were a number of internet fans who were so mad at Triple H over the way Punk left WWE. But after our evolution, NXT our evolution, a lot of the fans threw together some fans put together some money and sent him an edible arrangement basket as an apology, as a sign of forgiveness. That, okay, we love this. We love what you're doing with NXT. So, I mean, are we blind to the truth? Is there something else going on here? Or is Triple H really just trying to make things better for the traditional wrestling fan?
Well, I see where you're going on that, though. I mean, I guess it's just a weird. I think for me, though, I mean, just after the whole authority baloney and whatnot, though, I was kind of iffy on that, though. But since you're telling me about this, I think I'm starting to swing along with those other fans, so that might be an apologizing for Triple H. So
Right. I mean, we're talking about realistically right here on air. Yes, the authority is back in power. The authority, thanks to Seth Rollins holding the latest hosts of Raw and SmackDown, Edge and Christian hostage. Seth Rollins forcing John Cena's hand, forcing him to reinstate the authority. Of course, it wasn't all bad news from this past week. We did find out Daniel Bryan has returned.
yes,
He decided not to retire. He did not need a secondary surgery. He will be entering the 2015 Royal Rumble, which makes things interesting going into the road to WrestleMania, because everyone's seemed to signed in to Roman Reigns winning the Rumble, going on facing Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. However, with Bryan entering the Rumble, I mean, you have Dean Ambrose in there, you have Seth Rollins with his Money in the Bank briefcase, you have Bray Wyatt, you have Dolph Ziggler, you have a number of superstars in there who could really shake the storyline up going into WrestleMania as to whom will face the reigning, defending WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar.
Okay, calm there, Paul Heyman.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, I mentioned Punk a little earlier. Another big news segment, past couple months was Punk's podcast with his longtime friend and Ring of Honor veteran, Colt Cabana. Punk finally broke his silence about why he left WWE in early 2014. He cited a number of reasons. One, not the least of them being that, all right, Vince would just turn down like big money-making ideas flat. For example, when Punk made his pipe bomb in 2012, he got calls from all sorts of sponsors, ESPN. He got Jim Rome. He got offers to be on talk shows, and he went to Vince about all these big money-making ideas. Let these guys sponsor me. This could be a big ticket for WWE, and Vince just flat out said no. And then, a little later, here comes Brock Lesnar, and and Punk noticed he's got sponsors. So that was one thing. The other thing was that if you had noticed towards the tail end of 2013 going to 2014, Punk had seemed more sluggish. He hadn't been performing as well. I mean, his feud with Paul Heyman, which would have been one of the best I thought was going to be one of the best verbal feuds of the year, fell flat.
Yeah.
Especially when Ryback was brought in as a quote-unquote Heyman guy.
Yeah, that was...
And you saw that that Punk was more unmotivated in the ring. He was unmotivated with his promos. He just really didn't seem to have it. Even when he had that spectacular performance in the 2014 Royal Rumble. He quoted it as that it's just his body was torn to shreds. He was exhausted, and the problem is he had also been fighting a staph infection for a number of months.
Whoa.
It seemed like a regular staph infection. He would go to the doctor. The doctor would just give him a Z-Pack. Antibiotics. He'd be fine. But after he walked away and he went to see an outside doctor, it turned out that the staph infection had evolved into something, had transgressed into something even worse. That was immune to one of two strains of antibiotics that typically heal staph infections. And if he hadn't gotten looked at sooner, it could have caused major complications. The fact was, he had already been going around for months with this. He should have died. The fact is, he'd been performing with this sort of transgressed staph infection for so long that no normal person should have lived as long as he had. And yet, it was a good thing he had gone to an outside doctor and got it checked. And the fact that if we believe Punk and what he said, that the WWE doctor just gave him a Z-Pack and said, "Oh, it's fine, this is a regular staph infection." If Punk had kept performing, the next time he had taken a bad bump, I mean, the infection would have burst. He could have gotten completely infected. Who knows what would have happened? But again, like I said, we only have Punk's word on this. We don't have a complete diagnosis. We don't have the doctor's opinions. But again, if all of what Punk brings up in his diatribe against WWE is true, then it could be a big black mark not only on WWE's wellness policies, but also on the fact that Vince truly does see only a select few as true money makers.
No, it doesn't make a lot of sense, though. I mean, as you mentioned, a few years ago, John Cena is pretty much the biggest, butt kisser of all time. So, and what's to say though how much limitation he has?
I mean, he was one of the big merch sellers of 2011, 2012. He had just as he did have a point. I mean, if Vince had let sponsors latch on to Punk's rocket, WWE could have made millions more.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he completely trumped every single wrestling division afterwards. So ROH, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, you name it, all of those.
Exactly, and even more shocking news is shortly after his podcast with Colt Cabana, we found out that Punk didn't sign to any wrestling promotion. He signed to Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC Mixed Martial Arts.
Holy crap!
I kid you not. That's not a doctored photograph. That is tried and true. He was signed this past month. His first fight is supposed to be scheduled in the coming months. I was just as shocked as you. I cannot believe he is taking this risk. He's the first documented retired wrestler to go. He's retired. He's done with wrestling. He's made it perfectly clear. He's done, finito with wrestling. He's going into mixed martial arts. And here's the thing. He's the first documented retired professional wrestler to make the transition to mixed martial arts. So this is the opportunity that I don't think most people understand, that a professional wrestler could legitimize the sport by going of professional wrestling by going into mixed martial arts.
Yeah, I mean,
You had someone like Ken Shamrock who went from mixed martial arts to professional wrestling. You had someone like Brock Lesnar who went from professional wrestling to football to New Japan, then to mixed martial arts.
yeah, and then just for the sake of argument, just decided comes back every once in a blue moon, though. But
Right. I mean, you also had Bobby Lashley, but Bobby Lashley's still wrestling. You have Punk. He's retired. I mean, but now he's back. He's fresh. He's healthy. But here's the thing. Most people are expecting Punk a lot of people are expecting Punk to get beat up bad. And of course, it's mixed martial arts. It's like wrestling. It's not freaking ballet. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get punched in the mouth. You're gonna get kicked. You're gonna get kicked in the kidneys.
oh yeah, and plus with UFC though, you can't get serious. Though. I mean, heck, even Tito Ortiz though, his rival with what's his face and whatnot. Yeah, it got serious.
Yeah.
So
exactly. I mean, but here's the thing. People are gonna. Punk has mega stardom. He has credentials. I mean, he knows Tai Jiu-Jitsu. He has a mixed fighting background. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Punk could find a niche in mixed martial arts in UFC.
oh yeah,
People are going to want to see him fight. People are going to come to see him fight because he has such a fantastic fandom in all facets. Now in UFC, in WWE, still in ROH, wherever Punk has been, he's had a following. And all that following is going to come to UFC now. He's going to have legions of fans hinging on seeing what he's going to do. And even more so, just wanting to watch him, whether they want to watch him succeed or just watch him get beat up.
yeah.
People are just going to want to watch.
Actually, and I swear to God, this would be absolutely in UFC. I hope to God you guys pay attention to this. So this would be amazing to absolutely see CM Punk versus Jason David Frank. The
original Green Ranger.
Yes, yeah, it would be awesome.
Oh, God.
You know what? Believe it or not, though, for Christmas I actually got the Dragon Saber, with the buttons and all that. I'm dead serious as a heart attack. I swear to God,
I saw a YouTube vid of him playing the Dragon Saber. It just cracked me up so hard.
Yep.
But I mean, Punk being the UFC was an earth-shattering announcement. Took everyone by surprise. I'm sure it took Vince and company by surprise. So there have been a lot of earth-shaking moments in the last couple months, and I think this is the point where WWE and Vince really need to start changing things up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point right now, it's you go big or you're out.
Exactly. I mean, they can't just do the same old anymore. They can't keep relying on John Cena. They can't keep defaulting to the status quo. If you're going to start shaking things up, I mean, you got Dolph Ziggler, you got Roman Reigns, you got Daniel Bryan, you got a litany of superstars down in NXT. You've got a lot of guys to work with that could change the landscape of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Not just WWE, professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah, and plus, if anything, though, I don't know if you're agreement on this, though, but since you got a lot of guys, it's like within the cruiserweight division, though, how they revolutionized that.
Bringing that back might actually...
Oh, yeah, I've seen some of these guys, fight, though, and I'm telling you, all that's going through my head is, you need to bring the Cruiserweight Championship back, man. You need to bring that back. And specifically, some of the guys, even you have on the WWE roster, they're in the Cruiserweight, weight class. Why not do that?
Yeah, you could put J&J Security back in the Cruiserweight division.
Exactly. Heck, even Jamie Noble's a former Cruiserweight champion. I'm sure he'd be happy about it.
Yeah, he'd be happy about that. All right, we're coming to the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we welcome you back. If you were just coming off a 2-week break, like Zack and I were. Again, if you have any questions for us, any ideas for future segments on the show, you can email us at wrestlingconnection@gmail.com. You can look us up on our page at Facebook, facebook.com/wrestlingconnection. /The Wrestling Connection. You can look us up on Twitter at WConnection. In the coming weeks, we are going to be previewing the 2015 Royal Rumble. There have been some big entries so far with the likes of Roman Reigns, The Big Show, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, and many more. We're going to be taking the time to break things down. We'll be going back to a bit more of a traditional format next week. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to wish you nothing but the best. Happy New Year.
Yep.
And remember, as always, to
Be connected, get connected, stay connected.
You have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.
You have Happy New Year, y'all. Some things that are supposed to be. I never got tired of this. Someday we'll find it. The wrestling connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da yee, da 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 ya ya. Have a good night, folks. Boom.